Well, good day, everybody. Glad you can join me today. I just had to take a break from gardening. It was absorbing all my spare time, and there was time to get away from that. So I thought I'd go on a little day tour, and right now I wanted to talk a little bit about EDC, everyday carry. But see, for me, my task reflects my EDC. That's just the way it is. Living in Canada, there's certain things that we can carry. There's certain things we can't carry. And right now, I'm probably 30 miles from home in the bush. So I'll carry a certain type of EDC. But then there's some stuff that I carry every day. And since I'm in my truck, EDC is what? My keys. Okay, these are my keys. Never leave home without them. But it's what I have on my keys that count, right? Not counting the keys itself. P38 can opener. I've had one of these on my keys early 80s. And I think this is my third one because everyone keeps wanting them. So I'll just take it off my key and say, here you go. And I believe this is my third one that I keep on my keychain. That's regardless. Okay. Flashlight, nice and bright. I got tape around there, and that's so I don't lose the bezel, and I can easily just turn it. But right now I got it taped off, so I don't lose this, because this here turns on, turns off, right? So I don't want to lose this part, so I taped it. On here I have a ferro rod, magnesium bar ferro rod, and also I have a striker. Okay, now ferro rod, magnesium striker. This here one, it's not that old. This one here is probably, I've had it on my keys with my old truck. This is a 16, so let's say 2005. I had this one and one more on my my Ford F-250, and now that I got my Toyota 2016 and got rid of my Ford, this is on the keys. All right. Now, I've always had a ferro rod on my person or in my vehicles since probably, well, okay, I went out west in 79, 80, 81 I came back from BC to Ontario. So let's say 83. There is no computers, there is no internet, there is no YouTube, there is no nothing like that. If you wanted to buy stuff, or if you wanted anything, it was outdoor magazines, right? I do a lot of fishing and a lot of hunting, and I belong to a lot of different magazines, prescriptions. So when you're going through your hunting magazines and your fishing magazines, you'll see all kinds of things, you know. That's where I was first introduced also to fat wood, okay? and that was in one of my very, very old hunting magazines. So I bought Fatwood. I didn't know what it was back then. That was the first time I seen it, where I bought Fatwood. And with the magic of the internet now, well, now everybody knows where and how to harvest Fatwood, eh? But back then, there was no computer. So anything that you carry or anything that you wanted was in outdoor magazines. So my first ferro rod was, I think they, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure they called it like the Fire Stick or something like that in one of the magazines. And the ferro rod was the size of this, but it had a square handle on it. Okay, square plastic handle on it. I had to drill a hole in it, and I carried that me for the longest time, and I wore that out. There was a lot of people asking me what it was, and so I showed them what it was, strike some fires, and they were all amazed. But I told them the only place you can buy it was out of a magazine. And at the time, outdoor shops, fishing shops, hunting shops, and all that, they weren't really carrying them. What they were carrying was magnesium bars. Okay, the little square magnesium bars with the little chain link keychain thing, and all this, and that's what they used to go. And then they had that little pencil lead type fire steel on it, the ferro rod on it. That's the ones they still sell today, right? That's what they were carrying. And I've had a couple of them too in my fishing kits way back in the day, and they would dissolve. Well, I was getting them wet, it was raining and all this, and I'd use them and they'd break when I'd take my knife and go to, but I used to strike the little wee ferro rod, and inside the little block it would snap and stuff like that. But I was a smoker, and my EDC back then when I was a smoker was 2 Bic lighters and a pack of matches. That was on me all the time. And then I started carrying Zippos, and so I'd have 1 Bic, 1 Zippo, and some matches. And then all of a sudden, I carried that Zippo for 6 years. And then finally, I just said, you know what? It's just too expensive for fuel. I was always getting big red marks on my legs where I keep my Zippo in my pocket on my jeans and stuff like that. So I still got that in the house. So Bic lighters were my EDC. Then as I kept going, then I started to build up my kit and stuff like this, right? So now that I got my keychains, this is what I carry. All right. No matter where I go, I got my keychain. So I got a flashlight, I got a magnesium bar with a ferro rod, I got my striker, my P38. That way I can get into some canned food. Because back in the day, we never had zip-off tops and all this. We had to use these to get into whatever we wanted, eh? So this here's on my keychain, never changes. And I don't go anywhere without my truck. No matter where I go, I got my truck. And then as soon as I park my truck to wander off in the bush or go hunting, go fishing, go wherever, I got that with me anyways. So that's what I carry, all right? Blades. Okay, so let me just put this aside. So as far as blades go, back in the day, what did I have? I had my buck. I had a 110 folder. I really like that 110 folder. I had a 112. The 112 I carried around with me for maybe a year, but then I gravitated to the 112 or the 110, the bigger one, the bigger buck. The 112, who did I give that to? I gave that to a friend of mine anyways. And that was an expensive folding knife back in the day, when back in the early late 70s. I had mine in 78, something like that. And then I got my 110, I think it was 79, summer 79. And then I carried that on my hip wherever I went. Wherever I went, that was on my hip. And yeah, sometimes it would turn heads and all this, but you know what? You just ignore that, right? It's just a little case, well, bigger case for the 110 on my hip, on my belt. Long as the flap was closed, the knife was there. People knew what it was, but they really just didn't understand, well, why is he carrying a knife, you know, and I just ignored them. But I carried that around for years and years and years. Then I still got the case, but somebody wanted the knife, so I got the case. The knife went missing, no big deal. But I never did replace it because there was all kinds of knives that I had. Then I got the different types of bucks and all that. So that was my daily carry. But right now, I also have, like for my folder, it's with me all the time. This here, even when I'm sitting at my computer desk, no matter where I'm going, even when I'm out in the garden, it's in my pocket. I got a pocket clip, okay? It's, oh, I don't know, what is that, a 3-inch? Or no, probably 3.5-inch blade. So that's what I carry. It's the, what is it, AK-47 Memorial knife. 70-year anniversary. I think that's 70-year, right? Yep, 70-year anniversary. So I carry that all the time. It's the reason why, here, let me just close this up. The reason why is it's made out of metal, okay? And I use that as a hammer, you know? Oh, I don't even know what I paid for that. I think I paid 40 US, 45, 40, yeah, I think 40, 45 US for that at the time. And that, this is what's 2017, I think it is. Yeah, 2017. So since 2017, this has been with me. And I don't go anywhere without it. So, this is now in my pocket all the time. Sometimes I even put it right here underneath my beard, fold it over, and I clip that to my shirt. But this here is with me all the time. So I can make a fire with my keys. I can open some canned food. I can find my way in the dark. And I got a blade. That's just small stuff, right? So let me put that over here. Also, in my center console. Okay, so in my center console, this is what I carry. It's in there all the time. It's been in there. It's been in my center console of my Envoy. It's been in the center console of my 87-4. Well, no, my 87-4, I didn't have a center console. I had a dash, one in the dash. But my 2005 Ford F-250 center console, this one, center console. The contents changed a little bit, but the idea of what it is never changed. So we're going to open the center console. Okay. Too much. I got tea. I like tea, so I always got tea. Every time I go to Tim Hortons or every time I buy tea, I always get an extra bag and just throw it in my console. All right. So in here, this is a spare cable for my phone. It's always there because no matter where I go, I got to make sure I got a cable. So I got one in the house. I got one in my truck. I got one in my my travel trailer. I got one in my hunting gear. I think I got one in my shaving kit. Don't let this fool you. Shaving kits for all kinds of other things except for shaving. But yeah, so that's everywhere. So I got that everywhere. What else I got? Whole pocket full of change. I collect a lot of change. It goes in there. So that's what I got in there. I always have tissue. You never know when you're going to need tissue. Okay, so that's just in my little thing. And then, just like I said, you never know when you need a parking meter or something like that, or if you hit a yard sale and the guy says, yeah, that's only $3 and you don't got your wallet. There it is, right? Or I don't carry cash in my wallet, right? Okay, first aid kit. It's always in my truck. No matter where I go, I have my first aid kit. Okay. Also in there, I got my my knife and all kinds of accessories. So whatever goes on, I have that. If I need another blade, I have that. So that's with me all the time. I believe in it. This is a small one. I got a video on it. That stays in my truck always. So that's always with me. So is it an EDC? Yeah, it is, I guess, because it's always in my truck and it's always with me no matter where. Just because I step out of my truck to go grocery shopping or go to the bank or go here or go there, that's still considered an EDC, right? It's with me wherever I go, and I don't go anywhere without my truck. If I go for a walk, once I leave my place, then it's just my my ferro rod, my keys, and my small knife. But if I have to go somewhere in my truck, then that's what I carry. Now, I have a knife, which is a nice knife. Ever since I won this from a gentleman in the UK that made this, and he turned around and had a draw, and I won this blade. I was so happy for it. Now this is a nice chopper. Okay, nice size blade. Oh, another EDC. I'm addicted to measurements. So I got a tape measure. So this small little 25 footer. Okay, is it 25 footer? No, it's even smaller. It's only a 12 footer. There you go. But that's an 8-inch blade. Okay, full convex. Okay, EDC V2 steel. That's exactly 1/8 thick. No sharpness on the spine. The spine's round, so I can't strike nothing with that. Micarta handles. Okay, oily. You can see my fingerprints from the oil. But anyways, that son of a gun is in my center console all the time. Ever since I got it, this is there. Because if I need a chopper to go along with my little knife, there's a chopper. If I need to get in and out of trouble, that's going to do it for me. I love this thing. It's great. You'd be surprised how many times I had to pull over, do something, and I needed that. Okay. So, EDC, yeah, it's in my center console. Goes with me everywhere. Cordage. I always got the cordage. It's just, you just never know when you're going to need it, okay? So, it's there. I use this, man, oh man, I use this for everything. Well, hey, see this little piece here? What is it? Here, let me go. 4 feet. It's probably 4 feet long. Okay, this is 750 paracord. Well, that was a 100 footer. That's all I got left out of a 100 footer. I use it for everything, and that's all I got left. So I'm going to have to restock. But I still got my 550. Now that's in my truck consistently. What else I got? Oh, yeah. Couple chunks of fat wood. Always in my truck, right? You just never know, right? Break down on the side of the road. I do a lot of fishing and hunting and stuff like this, and I'm in places where if I break down, like when I was working for the railway, man, I was traveling in places where you don't see vehicles. you might get a vehicle every couple of days sometimes. You know, it depends where you are, right? Or if it's another hunter or another fisherman, well, I'm going to work. So I keep that just in case. You never know, right? That's in my center console. Okay. Also, multi-tool. Now this one here is spring activated. Okay. That is the equivalent to the Leatherman Wave Plus. That's the copy, because ever since Leatherman Wave patent expired, everybody's been making their own design. So I got this one that stays in the truck, and it's a perfect copy. So that's another blade, right? So there you go. I got another blade, and I got a saw. So there you go. And that's in my center console ever since the day I bought this one. File, I don't use it for squat. It's there. I don't use it. I'll use that as a pry tool or a screwdriver. But half of my stuff is star. It's not flathead, eh? And again, what else? Scissors. Okay, I just don't like these scissors. I really just don't. Okay, it works. It's strong, but I don't like it. This here part, let me show you. See how it came off here, off its sleeve. So this happens a lot with this one. So I gotta bring it up because these here are only so thick, right? And the spring rides on there. See? I don't know. There. See? That's what rides. And what happens is when you use it, the spring slips off and goes on here, and you know. But it's there in case I need it. What else? So put that away. So that's in there. EDC. But I also have my actual Leatherman Wave Plus. I bought this just after November, just after hunting. When I was setting up all my game cameras and all that, I always had to bring my screwdrivers. Then I needed a knife. Then I needed some cutters, and it was just giving me nothing but problems. I had the tools in my bag, but then my bag got heavy, and then I said that ain't gonna happen again. So when I got home, the first thing I did is I ordered the Leatherman Wave Plus, and well, everybody knows what a Leatherman Wave Plus is. So for a multi-tool, that's what I have with me all the time. Kind of like a everyday carry too, because it's always in my truck along with the other. The other one's in my center console, and this one here is up by my stick shift. And by my stick shift, I have this there too, so they're both side by each. And then when I go in the house, if I think of it, I'll bring it in the house. But believe you me, I don't think of it too often. I leave that in my truck, right in the center here. But I'll bet you guys don't carry a lot of this stuff. Tie wraps. Whatever your tie wraps, right? There you go. I have this one size in my truck always. You just never know when you got to tie up something. Okay? I had to fix my wiper blades with it. I had to fix all kinds of stuff with this. So I always have them in my truck. I never go without. Now, EDC, well, that's in my truck, right? Like I said, everybody should have that. Also, in my center console, I have Yuko matches. Okay, these matches here will actually burn underwater. There's some fat wood here. I have a ferro rod with the striker, and right here I have a nice little folding knife, and that's just to process the little bit of fat wood I got there. That's just my little fire kit. Oh yeah, I also got plugs. Okay, these plugs here are actually pretty potent. They were when they first came out, and they've been in the case ever since, and I used a couple. Pretty potent. So this is in my truck all the time. You just never know what's going to happen on the road. So I want to be able to make a fire, get warm. So that's in my truck. What else? So as far as everyday carry, that's what I carry. But anyways, Oh, what else? Oh, I had to go underneath. I had to go underneath my passenger seat. Well, anyways, everybody knows what that is. Okay, I don't leave home without it. To me, that's important. You just never know when you gotta go. So I keep that under my seat. So that's an everyday carry. That's too funny. But anyways, yeah, so whenever I leave the house, them are the items I carry all the time. And the items that are in my truck are in my truck all the time. And I got the same thing also in my travel trailer. Even though this truck here pulls my travel trailer, you just never know, right? So, but my first aid kit in my travel trailer is a lot better and bigger than this. But there's lots in here, believe you me. Then I have the, let me just put my stuff away. Then I have the military first aid kit with the plastic insert. I have that. I don't know if I did a video on that. I think I showed it. I'll have to check. That's what I carry in my packsack whenever I'm out, is one of them. Because if I know I'm going to park my truck and I'm going to head, and as soon as I know that I'm going to be more than a quarter mile away from my truck, well, you know what? The other first aid kit comes with me. So anyways, keep your keys loaded, have everything on there. As long as you got a ferro rod, a striker, as long as you got a light, and as long as you carry at least a blade of some sort, that's all you need. That'll help in a lot of situations. I've broken down with my my 2005 Ford diesel. It was dark, it was cold, and within an hour and a half I had a fire going, and with that little flashlight I got myself out of trouble. If I didn't have that little flashlight, I would have never found that little wee broken wire that was by my starter. I would have never found it. It was dark. I would have never found it. But through persistence and saying, you know what, I can get it, I'll find it, I'll fix it. And my wife was with me. She was a little nervous, and I kept telling her, don't worry about it. But when I found it and I seen it, it was like a weight off my chest, and I would have never found that if I didn't have that little wee flashlight. So it paid off for itself in that one trip. So anyways, that's my EDCs, everyday carry. That's about it. So thanks for dropping by. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. And think about where you're going, no matter what. Think about every time you leave the house. Think, what could happen? Where am I going? And what do I need in case something happens? And then that's when you make your little kit together, right? Like I said, this is in my pocket all the time, even sitting at my computer desk. You just never know when you're going to need a knife, right? This one here is sharp. I keep it sharp. I strop it a lot. I use that for everything. Everything. So that never leaves me. So anyways, think about it, because whatever you're doing, wherever you're going, that changes your EDC, right? Just remember, at least have something. Have a source to make a fire, Bic lighter. I got in the truck in my first aid kit, I got a Bic lighter, I got ferro rods, I got all that. So I got matches. Well, that's a first. My phone shut down because of the heat. It overheated in the truck. But again, it's 30 Celsius outside. I didn't have my air conditioning on in the truck because it's just too noisy. But anyways, take my glasses off. So anyways, just keep in mind of what you need. All right, so source of ignition. Make sure you got your fire. Make sure you got a knife. Make sure you have a flashlight. Make sure you have a container. Okay, I have a Stanley set that I put together. It's got the stove. It's got a cup. It's got an Nalgene for water. It all meshes together. I have that with me all the time, and it's in my truck, right? So just think about what you're doing. Think about where you're going, and say, if I break down, will I get help? How soon will I get help? If it's too hot, do I got enough water? If it's too cold, can I get some heat? Because if you're broke down, your truck don't run, it's 30 below outside. Well, it won't take long. It'll be pretty cold in your truck too. So you're going to have to at least gather some wood, get a fire going. That way you can warm up, eh? So when you guys are out there setting up your EDC, just start thinking about anything that could happen and where you're going, why you're going, and that'll decipher whether or not what you should carry, right? So anyways, again, thanks for dropping by, and don't forget, subscribe, thumbs up. Later, guys. Bye now.